Have you ever noticed how your dog always seems to be keeping tabs on you, like a little furry detective or even your own personal bodyguard? Maybe you walk into the kitchen and suddenly, boom, they're right there behind you. You head to the bathroom? Guess who's waiting outside the door like a security guard on duty? Now, while it might seem funny or even a little clingy, there's actually something much deeper going on here. Every time your dog checks in on you, they're not just being nosy. They're communicating something important. It's their way of telling you what's on their mind, and believe me, their reasons are both fascinating and heartwarming. So in today's video, we're diving into 10 surprising reasons why your dog just can't leave you alone. Some of these will make you smile, others might surprise you. And a few could even help you understand your dog's health and emotions better. And hey, if you're a true dog lover like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of people who can't get enough of learning about their four-legged best friends. Because trust me, you don't want to miss the kind of insights that can help you bond with your dog on an entirely new level. One of the biggest reasons your dog is always checking on you comes down to their natural protective instincts. To understand this, we need to go way back to their wild ancestors, the wolves. In the wild, wolves survive because of teamwork. Every member of the pack plays a role, hunting together, keeping watch for danger, protecting the pups, and making sure everyone stays safe. This constant awareness and vigilance were literally a matter of life and death, and guess what? That protective nature didn't disappear when dogs became domesticated. It was passed down generation after generation, right into the heart of the dog that's sitting in your living room today. When your dog keeps checking on you, they're essentially treating you like their pack. You are the center of their world, the leader, the family, and the one they feel responsible for. So when they quietly peek into the room you're in, or suddenly follow you to another part of the house, it's not because they're bored. It's because their instincts are saying, make sure the pack is okay. Stay close. Protect them. This is especially noticeable in certain breeds that were historically bred for guarding, like German Shepherds, Rottweilers, or Dobermans. But even the smallest of lapdogs, yes, even your tiny Chihuahua or Yorkie carry that same instinct. They might not be able to fight off an intruder, but in their little hearts, they believe they are your protector. And it goes deeper than that. Dogs often become more protective in households with vulnerable family members like babies, young kids, elderly relatives, or even someone who is sick or recovering. Their radar goes into overdrive because they instinctively know that these family members need extra care. Here's an example. Maybe you've seen your dog pacing back and forth or sitting near your child's crib. Or perhaps they always seem to know when you're feeling sad or unwell and they won't leave your side. That's their protective instinct at work, making sure you're safe and secure, just as their wolf ancestors did for their pack in the wild. So the next time you notice your pup shadowing you around the house, don't just brush it off as clinginess. Instead, think of it as a deep sign of love and loyalty. Your dog isn't just following you, they're standing guard, always ready to protect the most important member of their pack, you. Another powerful reason your dog keeps checking on you is because you are their greatest source of safety and comfort. Think about it this way. The world can be a very overwhelming place for dogs. They experience everything, sounds, smells, movements with senses that are much sharper than ours. What might sound like a faint noise to us can feel like thunder to them. A stranger walking by outside might seem like an intruder in their world. Even simple changes like moving furniture, a new person visiting, or a different daily routine can make them uneasy. In moments like this, dogs instinctively turn to their number one source of reassurance, their owner. That's why they keep checking on you. When they see you calm, relaxed, and safe, it reassures them that everything in their environment is under control. It's as if they're asking, is everything okay? Are we safe? If you're fine, then I'm fine too. This behavior is especially common in puppies and rescue dogs. Puppies, just like human babies, need constant reassurance as they learn about the big, confusing world around them. And rescue dogs especially, those who may have faced neglect, abandonment, or abuse cling to their new owner as their anchor of safety. To them, your presence is like a shield against all the scary, unpredictable things they've experienced before. But even confident, well-adjusted dogs rely on this behavior. Imagine a thunderstorm rolling in. The loud crashes of thunder, the flashes of lightning, these can trigger deep fear in many dogs. If your dog runs to find you during a storm, checks on you frequently, or curls up at your feet, it's because being close to you makes them feel safe. Your calmness tells them, Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And it's not just storms. Think about fireworks, vacuum cleaners, construction noises, or even unfamiliar people coming into your home. Your dog might check on you during these times to gauge your reaction. They're reading your body language like a book, and if you remain calm, it helps them relax too. This sense of security is also why dogs with separation anxiety often become restless when left alone. Without their anchor, they feel unsafe, confused, and anxious. That's why they might pace, whine, or even become destructive when separated. So in reality, every time your dog checks on you, it's not just habit. It's their way of saying, "You're my safe place. As long as you're okay, I know I'll be okay too." Sometimes when your dog is checking on you constantly, it's not just about love, play, or security. It can actually be their way of showing that something isn't quite right with their health. Dogs can't tell us directly when they're feeling unwell, so instead, they express it through changes in their behavior. One of those changes? Becoming unusually clingy and checking on you more often. For example, canine cognitive dysfunction, which is very similar to dementia in humans, can cause older dogs to become disoriented and anxious. Imagine waking up in your own home but suddenly not recognizing where you are or feeling lost in familiar surroundings. That's what some senior dogs experience. In those confusing moments, the one thing they do recognize is you, their trusted companion. So they may follow you more closely, check on you repeatedly, or stay glued to your side as if saying, "I don't understand what's happening, but I know I'm safe when I'm with you." But it's not just older dogs. Even younger dogs may check on their owners if they're experiencing pain, discomfort, or illness. Something as small as an upset stomach, joint pain, or even skin irritation can make them uneasy. Since they can't point to the problem or say, "I don't feel good," they rely on staying close to you, seeking comfort and guidance. Dogs also have an amazing ability to sense changes in their own bodies and sometimes even in yours. For example, some dogs become more attentive or clingy when they sense hormonal changes, illness, or emotional stress in their owners. But on the flip side, when it's their body that feels off, they might hover around you because being near you feels soothing and safe. It's also worth noting that anxiety and stress can manifest in physical symptoms. A dog who feels unwell mentally, like one suffering from separation anxiety or chronic stress, might also develop digestive problems, skin conditions, or lowered immunity. This can create a cycle. The dog feels unwell, checks on you more for reassurance, but the constant worry only adds to their stress. As a responsible owner, one of the best things you can do is pay attention to sudden changes in behavior. If your usually independent dog suddenly becomes clingy, or if your pup starts checking on you obsessively, it could be their way of waving a red flag. They're saying, "Something doesn't feel right, please help me." That's why regular vet checkups are so important. Sometimes what looks like cute clinginess is really a symptom of an underlying issue that needs medical attention. So the next time your dog won't stop checking on you, don't just brush it off as affection. Take a moment to observe. Are they eating normally? Moving without pain? Sleeping well? If not, it might be time to schedule a visit to the vet. In this way, those watchful eyes might actually be your dog's way of protecting themselves and asking for your help when they can't say the words. Some dogs don't just check on you now and then. They literally follow you everywhere into the kitchen, the bathroom, even when you just walk across the room. These dogs are often called Velcro dogs. The name is pretty fitting, like Velcro that sticks to anything it touches. These pups stick to their owners without hesitation. But behind this behavior is more than just affection. There are deeper emotional and psychological reasons why some dogs become so attached. One major reason is past trauma. Dogs that have been abandoned, rehomed multiple times, or even abused often develop a heightened fear of being left alone. For them, sticking to you like glue isn't just about love, it's about survival. They've learned that when they're alone, bad things can happen. But when they're with you, life feels safe, predictable, and warm. Another factor is anxiety. Some dogs simply have more nervous personalities. Just like people, not all dogs handle stress the same way. For anxious dogs, you are their anchor. Your presence is the one constant that helps regulate their emotions. So when they check on you or refuse to let you out of sight, it's their way of saying, "As long as I'm near you, I can relax." If you're gone, the world feels overwhelming. Breed tendencies also play a role. Certain breeds, especially those bred for companionship or close working relationships, are much more prone to Velcro behavior. Think of breeds like the Italian Greyhound, Labrador Retriever, and many small lapdog breeds. Historically, these dogs were selectively bred to stay close to humans, whether as hunting companions, therapy like comfort dogs, or watchdogs. For them, checking on you constantly is written into their DNA. Now, here's where it gets tricky. While it feels flattering to have your dog so attached, Velcro behavior can easily turn into separation anxiety. A Velcro dog may be fine as long as you're home, but the moment you step outside, panic. Whining, barking, chewing furniture, scratching doors, or pacing anxiously, these are signs of a deeper issue. It's important to understand that Velcro dogs aren't being needy just for fun. They're experiencing very real stress. Imagine having a best friend you literally can't live without. That's how they see you. But the problem is dogs need to learn independence too. Otherwise, their happiness will always depend on you being physically present. So what can you do? The solution lies in gradual independence training. For example, start by leaving your dog alone in a room for short periods, gradually increasing the time. Provide puzzle toys or interactive feeders that distract and reward them for being alone. Practice calm exits and returns, no dramatic goodbyes or hellos, so they don't associate your leaving with high stress. Encourage confidence-building activities like agility, obedience training, or socializing with other dogs. By teaching your Velcro pup that it's okay to be alone, you're not rejecting them, you're giving them the emotional tools they need to feel safe even when you're not around. At the end of the day, Velcro dogs behave this way because of love and trust. They see you as the center of their world. And while that bond is beautiful, the healthiest relationships are built on balanced love, but also confidence and independence. So if your dog is constantly checking on you, following your every move, and even shadowing you from room to room, they might just be a Velcro dog. It's a sign of deep loyalty, but also a gentle reminder that your furry friend may need help building their own resilience. Not all reasons your dog checks on you are serious or anxiety-related. Sometimes it's pure, unadulterated fun. Dogs are inherently social animals, and play is a huge part of their world. They see you not just as a caretaker, but as their playmate, entertainer, and source of endless excitement. Think about it. In the wild, dogs are pack animals. Wolves, coyotes, and other canids spend much of their day engaging in playful behaviors that build social bonds, teach survival skills, and strengthen relationships. Domestic dogs haven't lost this instinct. They just adapt it to human families. When your dog keeps checking on you, tail wagging, eyes sparkling, and maybe even bringing a toy to your feet, they're essentially saying, "Hey, let's have some fun together." Sometimes this behavior is subtle, a soft nudge, a paw on your leg, or sitting patiently while staring at you intently. Other times, it's full-blown, high-energy antics, zoomies across the living room, playful barking, or attempts to initiate a game of tug-of-war. And while this can be amusing, it also reveals an important truth. Your dog's mental and physical stimulation needs are not just optional, they're essential. When a dog's need for play goes unmet, it can manifest in excessive checking behavior. Imagine being in a room all day, watching someone do nothing but work while you have all this energy inside. That's how your dog feels if they don't get enough interaction. They might check on you repeatedly as a reminder. "Hey, I'm ready. Let's play." Breed and age also play a role. Puppies and adolescent dogs are bundles of energy with short attention spans. High-energy breeds like Border Collies, Australian Shepherds, and Labrador Retrievers have even greater demands for play and mental challenges. If these dogs aren't mentally and physically stimulated, they'll find their own ways to get your attention, often by following you around incessantly. There's also an emotional aspect to consider. Play isn't just exercise, it's bonding. Every throw of a ball, tug on a rope, or game of chase strengthens the relationship between you and your dog. Dogs check on you to see if you're available for this bonding time. They're asking, "Are we going to interact? Are you ready to spend quality time with me?" The solution is simple but requires consistency. Schedule regular play sessions throughout the day. Short, frequent bouts of exercise and interactive play work better than occasional long sessions. Incorporate both physical, fetch, tug, running, and mental, puzzle toys, scent games. Obedience challenges stimulation. Rotate toys to maintain novelty and excitement. Dogs, like kids, get bored quickly with the same old thing. By meeting their need for play, you'll notice a remarkable change. Your dog might check on you less obsessively because they're fulfilled, mentally engaged, and physically satisfied. But they'll still check on you, not out of anxiety or neediness, but out of a healthy desire to interact and have fun. And let's be honest, there's a subtle joy in knowing that someone, however furry and four-legged, wants to spend time with you more than anything else in the world. It's a reminder that for dogs, life is best shared with the ones they love through play, attention, and shared moments of pure happiness. Not all reasons your dog checks on you are serious or anxiety-related. Sometimes it's pure, unadulterated fun. Dogs are inherently social animals, and play is a huge part of their world. They see you not just as a caretaker, but as their playmate, entertainer, and source of endless excitement. Dogs are keen observers. They notice patterns, cause-and-effect relationships, and the subtle reactions of the humans around them. Every time they do something that earns a reward, whether it's a treat, a pat, a kind word, or even your attention, they learn to repeat that behavior. Over time, checking on you can become a self-reinforcing loop. Your dog checks on you, you smile or pet them, and voila, they've learned that staying close equals rewards. Think about it for a second. You come home from work, and your dog greets you enthusiastically. You laugh, scratch their ears, maybe give them a small treat. The next day, your dog is already anticipating this interaction. They want that warm smile, that kind touch, and perhaps the snack. Your response is reinforcing the behavior. This isn't necessarily bad. Positive reinforcement is one of the most effective ways to train dogs. But it can backfire if we unintentionally encourage excessive checking or clinginess. For instance, if every time your dog nudges you for attention, you immediately stop what you're doing to pet them, they may start to see you as a reward source that they must check constantly. Some dogs are more sensitive to this than others. Breeds like Golden Retrievers, Labrador Retrievers, and Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, known for their loving and people-oriented nature, can pick up on these reinforcement cues almost instantly. Even small gestures like making eye contact, a soft laugh, or a quick scratch behind the ears can be enough to solidify the check on human equals good thing behavior. So how can you manage this positively? Here are some strategies. Scheduled attention. Instead of responding every single time your dog checks on you, designate short, intentional interaction periods. Reward them during these times so they learn that attention comes predictably, not randomly. Interactive toys. Provide enrichment through puzzle toys, chew toys, or treat dispensers. This helps them satisfy their curiosity and energy while reducing the need to constantly check on you. Ignore minor nudges. If your dog isn't in danger or in need of something essential, calmly ignore minor checking behaviors. Reward the behaviors you want, like staying in their bed or playing independently. Consistency. The key is predictability. Dogs thrive on knowing what to expect. Consistent responses reduce confusion and anxiety, while still allowing your dog to experience love and attention. Interestingly, this learned behavior also shows how emotionally intelligent dogs are. They don't just want food or safety, they're attuned to your mood and reactions. Checking on you isn't merely a survival instinct. It's also their way of communicating and seeking connection. Your laugh, smile, or gentle pat becomes a language they understand. When handled properly, positive reinforcement can strengthen the bond between you and your dog without creating unhealthy clinginess. Your dog learns that you are predictable, reliable, and rewarding, but also that they can entertain themselves and be confident even when you're not immediately present. In short, your dog's constant check-ins are a mix of intelligence, affection, and learned behavior. By understanding this, you can guide it into a healthy, balanced relationship where both of you feel secure, happy, and connected. Dogs are creatures of habit. Their world is built on predictability, consistency, and a clear understanding of what comes next. This is why routines are so important and why your dog might check on you constantly. It's not just about curiosity or attention. It's about maintaining a sense of stability and control in their environment. Think about it from a dog's perspective. They don't read clocks, calendars, or schedules like we do. Instead, they rely on patterns and cues to understand the flow of daily life. Breakfast comes after morning walks. Playtime follows a period of rest. The sound of your keys signals that you're about to leave. When these patterns are consistent, your dog feels safe. But any disruption, even small, can trigger stress, anxiety, and the urge to monitor you closely. For example, if you normally feed your dog at 7 a.m., but one day it's delayed until 8 a.m., they may start checking on you repeatedly, pacing, or even barking. They're not being difficult or impatient. They're simply trying to restore the sense of order they rely on to feel secure. Dogs understand the world through routine. When something changes, they feel the need to check in, reassure themselves, and ensure that everything is under control. Routines also extend beyond meals. Walks, bedtime rituals, play sessions, and even your personal habits like working at the desk or relaxing on the couch become part of your dog's mental map. Any variation in these routines can make them anxious, prompting them to follow you around, watch your every move, or insist on staying nearby. This isn't just about attention, it's about predictability and reassurance. Certain breeds are particularly sensitive to routine disruptions. Border Collies, German Shepherds, and Golden Retrievers, for example, are highly intelligent and aware of patterns. They notice subtle changes in your daily schedule, body language, or even tone of voice. Checking on you frequently becomes a way to stay informed and aligned with the expected routine.
Interestingly, routines also have a cognitive and emotional benefit. By knowing what to expect, dogs can focus on mental stimulation and play, instead of spending all their energy worrying about uncertainties. A predictable routine reduces stress, prevents destructive behaviors, and improves overall well-being.
Here's how to use routines effectively. Consistency is key. Feed, walk, and play with your dog at roughly the same times each day. Predictable transitions. Use clear cues for changing activities, like a specific leash or command for walks to help them understand what's coming next. Maintain anchor points during changes. If you move or travel, keep at least one familiar routine, like feeding time or bedtime rituals, to provide a sense of continuity. Combined with mental stimulation, routine isn't just about predictability, it's also about enrichment. Pairing meals with puzzle feeders or training games makes the routine engaging and rewarding. By honoring your dog's need for routine, you're not only reducing their anxiety, but also strengthening your bond. They learn that you're reliable, their environment is safe, and they can enjoy life with confidence. That frequent checking behavior? It gradually shifts from being a symptom of stress to a healthy, affectionate gesture and acknowledgement of the trust and love they feel for you. Dogs are incredibly observant creatures. Their senses are finely tuned, from hearing the faintest creak of a door to detecting subtle changes in scent. This heightened awareness allows them to notice things in the environment that we might completely overlook. One of the reasons your dog constantly checks on you is because they are trying to communicate important events or changes happening around them. Imagine your dog's perspective. A neighbor's cat prowls near the fence, a stranger walks by, or a delivery person approaches your door. To us, these might seem like ordinary occurrences, but to a dog, these events are highly significant. Checking in on you, whether through barking, nudging, or simply staying nearby, is their way of saying, "Hey, something is happening, and I want to make sure you know." This behavior is rooted in their pack mentality. Dogs are descendants of wolves, who relied on constant communication and alertness within the pack for survival. In the wild, a wolf might bark or make noises to signal potential danger or a change in the environment. Domesticated dogs have inherited this instinct. They see you as part of their pack, and they feel a responsibility to inform and protect you. Different dogs have different ways of communicating. Some might bark when they hear a suspicious noise, while others may bring an object, like a toy, to catch your attention. Some may pace back and forth, glancing at you repeatedly. All of these behaviors are subtle forms of communication, and your dog is using them to share observations and ensure that you are aware of what's happening. Interestingly, this behavior also shows their deep emotional connection to you. By keeping you informed, your dog is strengthening the bond between you. They are saying, in their own way, "I trust you to respond, and I want to make sure you're safe too." Dogs are social animals, and their alertness is a reflection of their attachment, loyalty, and love. This communication instinct can also extend to positive events. Maybe they notice you preparing to go for a walk or opening a container of treats. They check on you because they are excited and want to participate. They're sharing the good news, just as much as the potentially alarming news. Here's how you can work with this behavior. Observe their signals. Learn the different ways your dog communicates. Barking, nudging, pacing, or staring can all be cues that they are trying to alert you. Acknowledge appropriately. Respond calmly and reassure your dog. This shows them that you understand and value their communication. Channel it into training. You can teach your dog to communicate specific events, like needing to go outside, by rewarding them for consistent, clear signals. Balance attention. While it's important to recognize their communication, ensure they don't become over-anxious. Encourage independence by rewarding calm and patient behavior. By understanding that your dog is constantly checking on you as a form of communication, you start to see these actions not as annoyance or clinginess, but as a deep expression of care and loyalty. You're not just living with a pet, you're part of a dialogue, where your dog is actively engaging with you to keep the household informed, safe, and emotionally connected. At the heart of your dog's frequent check-ins is one simple but powerful motivation: love. Dogs are incredibly social creatures, and their bond with you goes far beyond mere dependency or survival instincts. When your dog constantly checks on you, follows you from room to room, or nudges you with their nose, they're expressing pure affection and companionship. Dogs have been domesticated for thousands of years, and throughout that time, humans and dogs have formed an unbreakable partnership. Your presence isn't just comforting, it's central to their world. For them, you are their family, their pack, and their safe haven. Just as you might look for reassurance or enjoy the comfort of a loved one's company, dogs seek out emotional security through proximity and connection. Imagine coming home after a long day. Your dog runs to the door, tail wagging furiously, eyes shining with excitement. They nuzzle you, sniff you, or jump gently in greeting. This is more than just habit, it's an expression of joy, love, and a deep desire for connection. Checking on you throughout the day is an extension of that same emotional bond. It's their way of saying, "You matter to me, and I want to be close." Love and companionship also have practical emotional benefits for dogs. Being near you reduces anxiety, calms stress, and provides a sense of security. Dogs who experience separation or lack of attention often develop clinginess. But even healthy, well-adjusted dogs naturally seek connection. They are not possessive. They are affectionate. Your dog's constant vigilance and proximity are their ways of participating in your life and ensuring they are part of the social fabric of their beloved pack. This behavior is particularly strong in certain breeds. Golden retrievers, Labradors, and Huskies, for example, are known for their social nature and loyalty. These dogs have been selectively bred for companionship, herding, or working alongside humans, which strengthens their desire for continuous interaction. But all dogs, regardless of breed, have an innate capacity for forming deep emotional bonds with their humans. Love and companionship also explain some of the more subtle ways dogs check on you. They might nudge you when you sit down, rest their head on your lap, or curl up next to you while you work. Even a brief glance or a soft paw on your arm is an act of emotional connection. They are reaffirming their bond and expressing that your presence makes them feel complete. Here's how you can nurture this loving connection. Quality time. Spend intentional moments with your dog each day, whether it's play, walks, or cuddling. Affection and reassurance. Respond to their check-ins with gentle petting, kind words, or play. Interactive activities. Engage in games or training that stimulate both their mind and body, reinforcing your role as a loving companion. Respect their signals. When your dog seeks proximity, it's a sign they trust and value you acknowledge it. By recognizing these behaviors as expressions of love and companionship, you shift your perspective from seeing them as clingy or annoying to appreciating the depth of your dog's emotional world. Every check-in nudge and gaze is a tiny reminder that your dog loves you unconditionally and wants to share life with you one paw step at a time. Dogs are naturally curious creatures. Their world is rich with smells, sounds, textures, and movements that constantly stimulate their senses. Unlike humans, who rely primarily on sight, dogs perceive the world through a combination of highly developed senses: smell, hearing, taste, and touch, which makes every environment full of intriguing information. This curiosity often drives them to check on you frequently, not just out of love or protection, but to investigate what's happening in their environment, especially when it involves you. Think about it from your dog's perspective. When you move from room to room, open a door, answer a phone call, or pick up a bag, all of these actions are fascinating. They're trying to make sense of the world, and your activities are the most interesting part because you are the center of their pack. Your dog is essentially saying, "I want to understand what's happening, and I want to be involved." Curiosity in dogs isn't just passive observation, it's active engagement. They might follow you around, sniff at objects you touch, tilt their head in puzzlement, or even paw at something to investigate. This behavior strengthens their mental stimulation and provides enrichment, which is crucial for a happy, healthy dog. Dogs that aren't mentally stimulated often develop boredom behaviors, such as chewing, barking, or pacing. Frequent check-ins are a natural way for them to remain engaged and learn about the environment, especially when you are their primary source of activity and interaction. This curiosity also links closely with their pack mentality. In a pack, dogs rely on information from others to navigate and respond to their environment. By watching you and checking on what you are doing, your dog is gathering information and learning how to respond appropriately. They want to know whether a situation is safe, fun, or potentially threatening. For instance, if you start preparing food in the kitchen, your dog may follow you around, sniffing and watching, hoping to understand what's happening and possibly to get a taste. When you grab a leash, they may become alert, anticipating a walk. If a stranger approaches the house, they watch intently, ready to signal. All these actions reflect their keen observational skills and their need to be mentally involved. Curiosity also strengthens the bond between you and your dog. Dogs learn your routines, habits, and emotional cues by staying close and observing. When you interact with them or respond to their check-ins, you're creating a continuous loop of communication and engagement. They are learning, adapting, and strengthening the connection they have with you. Here's how to harness and encourage your dog's natural curiosity. Interactive toys and puzzles. Stimulate their mind and satisfy their investigative instincts. New experiences. Short walks in new areas, new scents, and different environments keep their curiosity active. Training and engagement. Teach them commands or tricks using curiosity-driven methods. Let them explore and learn at their own pace. Observation time. Allow your dog to follow you safely around the house or yard. It satisfies their natural instincts and strengthens your bond. Ultimately, your dog checking on you constantly is a blend of curiosity, love, loyalty, and protection. They are not being clingy or annoying, they are fully engaged, emotionally invested, and seeking connection in every moment they can. Understanding this allows you to appreciate their behavior as a reflection of their intelligence, emotional depth, and commitment to their pack. By recognizing the many reasons behind your dog's frequent check-ins, from protective instincts and health concerns to love, companionship, and natural curiosity, you gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity of their behavior. These behaviors are not random. They are layers of emotion, instinct, and intelligence woven together, making your dog a truly remarkable companion. And now we want to hear from you. Does your dog constantly check on you too? Share your stories in the comments, because we love reading them and featuring our community in future videos.